Hey guys, welcome back to ABG ಸ್ಪೋಕನ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಈ ಒಂದು ತರಗತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು PUC ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಅಥವಾ ದ್ವಿತೀಯ PUC ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ನ 4ನೆಯ ಒಂದು ಅಧ್ಯಾಯ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಐ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ನೋ ಐ ಲರ್ನ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್, ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನ ನನಗೆ ಅಗತ್ಯವಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನ ನಾನು ಕಾಡಿನಿಂದ ಕಲಿತೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಈ ಒಂದು ಪಾಠದ ಶೀರ್ಷಿಕೆಯಾಗಿದ್ದು, ಈ ಒಂದು ಪಾಠದ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೋತ್ತರಗಳನ್ನು ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಸಾಗೋಣ. ಸೊ ಒಂದು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ನಾವು ಈಗ ಮೊದಲ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಯನ್ನು ನೋಡೋಣ. ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚಿತವಾಗಿ ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿಯವರೆಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ನೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಚಾನಲ್ ಆಗಿರುವ ABG ಸ್ಪೋಕನ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ಗೆ ನೀವಿನ್ನೂ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಈಗಲೇ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಆಗಿ. ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆದರೆ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಲೈಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮತ್ತು ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಮೊದಲ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಯನ್ನು ನೋಡೋಣ. ಟ್ರೇಸ್ ದ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ಹುಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸಸ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಶೇಪ್ಡ್ ದ ಆಥರ್ಸ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ಎಕಾಲಜಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಥರ್ನ ಒಂದು ಬಾಲ್ಯದ ಒಂದು ಅನುಭವಗಳು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಆಥರ್ನ ಒಂದು ಆಸಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಈ ಪರಿಸರ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಅದು ಬೆಳೆಯುವಂತೆ ಮಾಡಿತು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಲಾಗಿದೆ. ವಂದನಾ ಶಿವಾಸ್ ಫಾದರ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅ ಕನ್ಸರ್ವೇಟರ್. ವಂದನಾ ಶಿವ ಅವರ ತಂದೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಅರಣ್ಯ ಸಂರಕ್ಷಕನಾಗಿದ್ದು ಆಫ್ ದ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಹಿಮಾಲಯನ್ ರೀಜನ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಂಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಶಿ ಲಿವ್ಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಾಸ್ ಬ್ರಾಟ್ ಅಪ್ ಇನ್ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಸರೌಂಡಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಇದರ ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರದ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅವರು ಹುಟ್ಟಿರುವುದು ಮತ್ತು ಬೆಳೆದಿರುವುದು ಒಂದು ಕಾಡಿನ ಸುತ್ತ. ಹೆನ್ಸ್, ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಶಿ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ಸ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಶಿ ನೋಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಎಕಾಲಜಿ, ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಏನು ಈ ಒಂದು ಪರಿಸರದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಅವಳು ಆ ಹಿಮಾಲಯದ ಅರಣ್ಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲಿತಿದ್ದಾಳೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಕಾಲಜಿ ವಾಸ್ ಲರ್ನ್ಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ the Himalayan forest and ecosystem. Her mother was a farmer. ಅವಳ ತಾಯಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ರೈತ ಮಹಿಳೆಯಾಗಿದ್ದು and she used to compose songs and poems about trees. ಮತ್ತು ಆ ತಾಯಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಗಿಡಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹಾಡುಗಳನ್ನು ಪದ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ರಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. Forests and India's forest civilization. Thus, her parents and their profession undoubtedly shaped the author's interest in ecology. ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾರಣಗಳಿಂದ ವಂದನಾ ಶಿವ ಅವರು ತಮ್ಮ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಒಂದು ಆಸಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಪರಿಸರದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಬೆಳೆಸಿಕೊಂಡರು. ಎರಡನೆಯ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ, How does the scarcity of water, fodder and fuel affect women? ಈ ಒಂದು ನೀರಿನ ಕೊರತೆ ಮತ್ತು ಮೇವಿನ ಕೊರತೆ ಮತ್ತು ಉರುಳಿನ ಕೊರತೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರಭಾವವನ್ನು ಬೀರುತ್ತದೆ. The ruthless cutting down of trees results in the floods, landslides, scarcity of water, fodder for cattle and fuel. This affects the women folk in particular because they have to walk long distances for collecting water and firewood, which is quite burdensome. Question number 3. What features of the Chipko movement does the author highlight? The picture of Chipko movement are that it was a non-violent response to the large-scale deforestation, like doing padayatras, documenting the deforestation, and the work of the forest activists hugging the trees to prevent them from being cut down. One side Chipko action took place in the Himalayan village of Advani in 1977. A woman led the resistance against her own husband, who had obtained a contract to cut trees. She protested with the lighted lanterns by daylight. Question number 4. The real value of the forest for women was. Here answer B and C. Source of basic needs, spring and streams. List the activities that Vandana undertook after her involvement with the Chipko movement. She spent every vacation doing padayatras, documenting the deforestation and the work of forest activists. She spread the message of the Chipko movement and created awareness in the people about the value of forests. She put emphasis on organic farming. She set up 100 community seeds bank. The conservation of biodiversity is in agriculture leads to more quality food and higher nutrition. Why is it important to change the fossil fuel and chemical based monoculture? It is important to change the fossil fuel and chemical based monoculture because it impoverishes nature and culture. What promoted the UN to initiate discussion on the right of Mother Earth? The Constitution of Ecuador, in which were recorded the rights of the nature and Universal Declaration of the Rights of Mother Earth, initiated by Bolivia, promoted the UN General Assembly to recognize a conference so as to initiate a discussion on the rights of Mother Earth. Question number 9. The conference organized by the UN General Assembly is aimed at transforming the domination of all of above. Answer is what, according to the author, echo apartheid, why it is necessary to end this. According to the author, echo apartheid means of the holding the illusion in our minds and lives that humans are separate from our nature. It is necessary to remove such an illusion from our minds and lives because it leads to the disharmony with the nature and finally it violence against nature and people. In short, human beings start exploiting nature and perpetuate violence against themselves. Which event in human history marked the beginning of the separation of human from nature? The Industrial Revolution, which was facilitated by the belief that Earth was dead matter, marked the beginning of the separation of the human from nature. How do Carolyn Merchant and Francis Bacon differ in their ways? Francis Bacon, the father of modern science, believed that science and the inventions that result do not merely accept a gentle guidance over nature's course, they have the power to conquer and subdue her, to shake her foundation. But Carolyn Merchant points out that due to this overgrade, nature has been destroyed by man to suit his capitalism. But then he realized the importance of the nature, and instead of destroying, he slowly started to think about the nature and nurturing earth by removing his blind superstitious cultural beliefs. At last, he says, one does not really slay a mother, dig into her entrails for gold, and mutilate her body. 13th one. What ideas of Tagore inspired Vandana Shiva to start Earth University? The author states that the university located at Navadanya farm was inspired by Rabindranath Tagore's ideas expressed in his essay Tapuvana. Tagore says that India's best ideas have come from the forest where the man was in communion with the trees and rivers and lakes, away from the crowds. The peace of the forest has helped the intellectual evaluation of the men, and the culture of the forest has fueled the culture of Indian society. The culture that has arisen from the forest has been influenced by the reverse process of renewal of life, which are always at play in the forest, varying from species to species, season to season, in sight and sound and smell. And unifying principle of life is diversity. Of democratic pluralism thus became the principle of Indian civilization. How are unity and diversity related to each other? Unity and diversity are related to each other. This unity is diversity that is the basis both ecological sustainability and democracy. Diversity without unity becomes the source of conflict and contest. Unity without diversity becomes the ground and eternal for external control. The forest is a unity in its diversity, and we are united nature through our relationship with the forest. Comprehension 2. How did the man led by Bachni Devi put up resistance to the felling of trees? Do you think it was effective? In 1977, in the Himalayan village of Advani, a village woman named Bachni Devi led the resistance against her own husband, who had obtained a contract to cut trees. When officials arrived at the forest, the woman held off lighted lanterns in broad daylight. When the forester asked them to explain their action, the woman told him that they had come there to teach the forest trade. When the forester retorted, calling them foolish women, and asked them whether they knew the real value of the forest, and asked them whether they knew what the forest bore, and woman retorted and sang in a chorus saying that the forest bore soil, water, pure air, such sustains the earth, and she bears. The demonstration was very effective because the men folk included the forest believed that the village women were naive and ignorant, but on the contrary, they proved that they were quite knowledgeable about the benefits of the forestry. Second question is, why is the important to promote the biodiversity intensive farming? How did author achieve it? Here is the answer they have given here. I have to look at it and read it and understand very well. And after that, you have to continue the next question. Question number third. Question number third we are going to see now. Here, rise of the nature means B and C. The duty of human beings to conserve nature, preserving nature for self-protection. What does the concept of Earth University convey? How is this effective from that one of the other university? The Earth University located at Navadhanya Biodiversity Farm in Doon Valley of Himalayas teaches Earth democracy. It means freedom. It means freedom for all species to evolve within the web of life, and the freedom and responsibility of humans as members of the Earth family to recognize, protect, and respect the rights of the other species. Our university is different from other universities because it is ecocentric, while the other universities are anthrocentric. Ecocentrism refers to the system of thought where the focus is on conserving the existing ecosystems that are needed to protect the sustained web of life on the earth. Comprehension 3. Tagore saw unity with nature as the highest stage of the human evolution. Do you think consumerism and accumulation of wealth come in way of realizing Tagore's vision of human evolution? The answer is given below. You have to look at it and write it in your book. Yes, undoubtedly, consumerism and accumulation of wealth come in the way of realizing Tagore's vision of human evolution. The answer is continued here. You have to write this answer correctly. Unity in diversity supports ecological sustainability and democracy. Again, it is continued here. exploitation of nature and cause impoverishment of nature and culture. The second one, the conservation of biodiversity is the answer to the food and nutrition crisis. You agree? Your answer is given. The conservation of biodiversity is the right step to right the people overcome the nutritious nutrition crisis because the biodiversity works on the paradigm of earth democracy and democratic pluralism, wherein there is freedom for all species to evolve within the web of life. The answer is continue here. You see the answer here. Secondly, biodiversity sustains democratic pluralism because there are diverse processes of renewable life always at play in the nature ecosystem, and they vary from species to species and some from the season in the sight, sound, and smell. All the species live in a perfect harmony. Conservation of biodiversity is crucial for the sustenance of both nature and human society. Discuss. The earth houses millions of ecosystems and nurtures biodiversity. Biodiversity ensures abundance, freedom, cooperation, and mutual giving. It is this unity and diversity that is the basis of both ecological sustainability and democracy. No species in the forest appropriate to share the another species, and every species sustains itself the cooperation with others. This unity is in diversity is seen in the forest. In light of this essay, how does one synthesize the wisdom of the past, read the modern knowledge system? The answer is given here. The essay Everything I Need to Know I Learned in the Forest by Vandana Shiva. Vandana Shiva highlighted the importance of sustaining biodiversity in nature. However, the author does not dismiss scientific evolution, inventions, and discoveries as useless. Under such circumstances, we need to synthesize the wisdom of the past with the modern knowledge systems. This was several advantages. For example, traditional knowledge is vital for the sustenance of natural resources. To understand how local people solve their economical problems in the sustainable fashion is a serious challenge. A better grasp and this issue could possibly be accomplished with economical economics, as well as the sustainability of nature resources. Local knowledge helps the scenario analysis, since on the other hand provide new technologies and help the improvement of the existing ones. It is also provides tools for networking, storing, visualizing, and analyzing information. ಸೊ ಡಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿಯವರೆಗೆ ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಮ ನೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಚಾನಲ್ ಆಗಿರುವ ABG ಸ್ಪೋಕನ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ಗೆ ನೀವು ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಈಗಲೇ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಆಗಿ. ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆದರೆ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಲೈಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮತ್ತು ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿಕೊಡುತ್ತಾ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.